Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Something Sporty, some little show where we talk about sports and some other things. I am your host. My name is Elijah. Joining me in the booth, we have Erik. Give it a round of applause for Erik.
Salutations, everyone.
All right. And on the far right, not politically, of course, but just in directionally, we have London. Let's give it up for London. Let's go. All right, guys. So we had a bit of a hiatus. You know, we had a good show 2 weeks ago. Spring break came and gone, and now we're back. How was everyone's break?
Break was a good recovery week. I spent a lot of time relaxing, just at home. Didn't really do much, but it was a good week of recovery from the semester and friends and being back with family. So I had a good one.
All right, Erik, how about you?
Went down south the first time in over a year. My mom has a nice little condo in San Clemente, the lesser-known city. The city basically in between L.A. and San Diego. We did some nice sightseeing, going on the beach multiple times. Beautiful time, to say the least, even though we hardly had any time down there. Because I had to be back here for track practice on Thursday. So we hardly had any time, really.
You guys are practicing over the break?
Yeah, practice was mandatory over spring break.
Huh. Okay.
Damn.
That's
Sounds
rough.
like, well, yeah, London's like, I don't know anything about that life.
Yeah, kind of rough.
All right. Hey, well, it sounds like out of the three of us, you went out the most, and it seems like.
Yeah, but
Seems like you
before
had a good
that, we flew down the Friday before spring break. We flew to Burbank, and we took a shuttle over to our hotel in Covina. It was just basically down south. And on Saturday, we had a meet over at APU, and our team did pretty well, to say the least.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How are you guys doing seasonally in the season stuff? How much time do you have left?
We have one meet coming up this Thursday here. We have 3 home meets this year. They have the Mike Finelli Track Classic coming up this Thursday, and in a couple weeks there's the Johnny Mathis invite, and we're also hosting conference this year, CCAA championships here.
Shoot. Well, we got to come out and support our boy.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to come out.
For sure.
Which events are you running?
This Thursday I'm running the 10K.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be my first ever track 10K, official track 10K.
Hey, well, everyone here at Something Sporty, we wish you the best of luck. Let's get it. You're gonna. Oh, I was gonna curse,
much
but
appreciated as always.
I was gonna say a bunch of curse words, but I'm trying to get pulled off the air. That is my goal for the semester. Not get taken off the air for something that I say. Well, my break was kind of like London's, very uneventful. I got sick right before the break, so that was nice to kind of start my break early. As I was getting better from my illness, no COVID or anything, just a little nasal thing. And then as I was getting better from that, I have this old recurring military injury, and it came up, and I tweaked my back doing something silly, and that kind of put me on the shelf for a good 4 or 5 days. And by the time I was feeling better, I had to work, and I was working pretty much every day after that. So, it was like London said, it was a nice recovery week, not very low maintenance. But I wish I would have done a little more. But hey, things happen for a reason.
Good final spring break of college, right?
Yeah. Shoot. Well, I thought I was going to be graduating this semester. Looks like I'll be here another year.
Oh, I thought you were finishing up this semester.
I thought I was too, but apparently I have one foundational class that I totally forgot about that I need to get done.
Yeah, I've been going through the ringer trying to finish up. I've gotten one advisor telling me one thing, another advisor telling me another, and I've had so much stress taking I think I'm doing 21 units right now.
Holy
21? Oh my god.
Yeah, and I had so I met with 3 Becca advisors, which is my major, and they all were like, "Oh yeah, you're good to go. You're gonna graduate this spring on time, whatever." And then about 3 weeks ago, I get an email saying, "Oh yeah, you're missing a class." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm missing a class." And then I met with my advisor again, and it should be all worked out now. But yeah, just finishing up has been a struggle for sure.
Jeez, they're gonna keep you on your toes until you
They
walk
don't-
on stage.
They don't want me to go.
They just love the hell out of you. I'm like, gotta keep this guy around. Well, great. I mean, shoot, I thought I was gonna be done. I'm gonna be here a little while. But that's gonna be cool. All right, well, let's get into the damn thing. We got the main thing that's been going on. March Madness, obviously. It's been a mainstay, obviously, throughout the last couple weeks. Obviously, since I watch so much basketball, I could talk all day about it. But I'm gonna leave the floor to y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chip in every little bit, but this is your guys' house, so take it away.
Yeah, so our last episode, we filled out our brackets. It was right before the tournament was starting, and I think I did a decent job, compared to I guess most other fans.
Do you have your old bracket?
I have it here actually. I mean, obviously there was a lot of unexpected upsets this year. I'd say the worst part of my bracket was having Kentucky going to the Final Four.
Oh.
that definitely killed me.
I had Gonzaga winning it all.
I had Gonzaga and Arizona in the final. They're both gone. But yeah, so on like the ESPN tournament app, I got 570 points, which I couldn't tell you how they break down the points, but I was happy enough with my performance this year. How about you, Eric?
I was lucky enough to have Kansas in my Final Four. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, actually.
Everything else, busted, and even more busted.
Yeah, I've got my Final Four. I've got Kansas and actually no, I don't have Kansas or Villanova. My whole entire Final Four is off. I had Gonzaga, UCLA, and then I had Villanova, Kansas, Arizona, Auburn. So I was way off on those. But first couple rounds, I did a decent job. All right, so let's talk about these two games. Unfortunately for Villanova, Kansas, I feel like they're kind of on the back burner here with Duke matching up with North Carolina.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Duke versus UNC is like perhaps the greatest rivalry in all of college sports.
Yeah, definitely the best rivalry in college basketball. That's for sure. Especially with all the storylines kind of outside of basketball with Coach K obviously leaving, and then North Carolina beating them on Coach K's farewell game from Cameron Indoor. So aside from their history over the years, just this season alone, they've got some pretty good storylines.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not to mention Duke is looking for some revenge against North Carolina for spoiling Coach K's final home game.
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing with this game here is I feel like Duke has so much more to lose than North Carolina, after obviously losing the regular season to them. And then if Duke were to lose, it's like, all right, we lost Coach K's farewell. Now we lost to UNC in the Final Four. Whereas UNC, it's like, all right, we're already the dogs here. If we win, obviously that's going to be huge for the school. If we lose, then, it's like everybody's going to be saying, okay, this is Coach K's year. This is for his farewell and whatnot. So I feel like Duke definitely has way more to lose. And I feel like it's going to be a little bit embarrassing almost for Duke as a way to send off Coach K, that's for sure.
Send Coach K home with a big fat L. So as I said earlier, I follow basketball to the T. I did not know about this rivalry between Carolina and Duke.
Oh yeah, it's been going on for decades, even during the Michael Jordan days in the 80s.
Wow. So for me, because I'm a big entertainment guy. I'm big into sports entertainment. So things that drive me or that get me interested into things is storylines, stories. good versus evil, underdog versus the Goliath, whatnot. So this already has me intrigued.
Yeah.
Duke, North Carolina. So with that being said, the Final Four, with this game in particular, what's your official, I know you guys said something, but what's your official prediction?
I've kind of been not necessarily a Duke hater, but I've been going against. I've been preying on their downfall a little bit, basically all season. So, and I'm a North Carolina fan, so I hope North Carolina wins, and I think it'll be hilarious to see Duke kind of ending it out on this note. And also, North Carolina has absolutely been balling all tournament. And pretty much all towards the end of the season, they've been having huge games. So. I think I like North Carolina here. Just for the memes too.
Just for the memes. All right. So I'm just gonna put. If I were to choose, I would definitely. I'm more of an underdog guy. I would say UNC too. Just for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you here. I'm going for Duke.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. I hope it's gonna be a tight game and some fun to watch, just for the neutral fan,
the casual fan like myself.
Yeah,
knowing their historic rivalry, it's gonna be a fight from start to finish.
Yeah, I just feel like I can't flip flop. Last episode I'm talking all this trash about Coach K, and Elijah, I think you were joining it with me.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, I thought Duke was a little bit fraud. I wasn't expecting them to go to the Final Four, but they actually have played a really good March Madness and came out with some big wins. So, with that being said, North Carolina's winning.
So, if North Carolina wins, let's just say they win, prediction stuff. Do they win the whole thing?
I think the winner of Duke, North Carolina is going to be the winner of the tournament.
Yeah, and the national championship game that's happening on April 4th, next week.
Ooh, might have to do a live screening of it.
Emergency podcast.
Someone break out one of those go-to podcast kits. We'll go to a bar and watch the game. That'd be a live feed.
There's a March Madness app, and it allows you to watch all March Madness content. You get 3 hours to watch it for free.
Oh shoot!
And then you're gonna need some kind of subscription afterward.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah,
exactly.
This
Big
entire
business.
Final Four is, for the neutral fan, is really, we got four really historically good basketball schools. So I think this Final Four, in comparison to previous years, is filled with a lot of world class, historically good schools. Bill Self, obviously at Kansas, has been their coach for a while. He's been really dominant. Villanova won a couple years back, and they've been really dominant as well. So I think 4 schools that a lot of college basketball fans watch a lot of, and I think they're going to be, obviously everybody's going to be really excited about it. So just, touch a little bit on Kansas Villanova. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to take that one?
So I actually watched a lot of the Kansas-Miami game the other day.
Okay.
Which was really good.
Yeah,
that was some back and forth. That was some fire basketball.
Talking about a tale of two halves, right?
Yeah, man. But Kansas, something about the fire in the people's eyes from Kansas. I don't know. Originally I was gonna say Kansas wins the whole thing, but I like the whole storyline dynamic of UNC and Duke. But man, I see Kansas beating Villanova. I haven't really watched any of them, but if I were a betting man, I would say Kansas and UNC are going to the finals.
You like Kansas now?
I do.
I think I'm the opposite. I think I really like Kansas. I think has a really good squad this year, but I think I really like Villanova. Jay Wright, obviously, they've been there. They've been in the picture the last couple of years. Obviously, won a couple of years ago, and they got Colin Gillespie, who I think is probably one of the best players in the Final Four. And I think Villanova just has that fight in them, and they just know how to win games. So I think I like Villanova in that one.
Villanova also beat Michigan, and because I root for Michigan football, I tend to just root for Michigan in all other sports. So because they beat my team, or they beat Michigan, I hope Villanova gets squashed.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about Villanova was last game, Houston keeping it close on them after how poorly of an offensive game they had. I think they were like 1 for 19 from 3 and somehow still only lost by 6. So that does scare me a little bit about Villanova, but I think they've got a really good defense and some offensive guys that'll score. So like I said, I think it's a matter of experience as well with them, and I think it'll be North Carolina Villanova final.
Erik, what do you think?
I got Duke and Villanova in national championship game. Down with discount Toucan Sam. That's what I'm saying.
Man, so it sounds like we all have different predictions for the finals.
Championship games, yeah.
I have UNC and Kansas. You have Villanova and Kansas?
UNC.
Or you have Villanova and UNC. And you have
Villanova and Duke.
And then
wow.
I think UNC is going to come out on top and continue this run. And I saw somewhere it's like a first-year head coach has never won the March Madness tournament. So that'd be pretty cool to see. Hubert Davis win a national championship in his first season after taking over for Roy Williams. As I mentioned, this Final Four is awesome for storylines and people that just want to talk about it because, like I said, a lot of people know a lot about these 4 teams and just based on history. So I think there's going to be a ton of people interested and like I said, in terms of a journalist perspective, you've got a lot to talk about, that's for sure.
For sure. So these games, we have both semifinal games. Looks like they're on the 2nd, April 2nd.
Yeah,
that is
back
a
to back.
Sunday, or is that Saturday?
It is Saturday. This Saturday. This upcoming Saturday.
Yeah,
Damn, I'm going to miss both games. That sucks.
The Natty's on a Monday.
That is correct.
Ooh, okay. Man, I'm going to miss that too. Shit. Damn. Well, it's going to be fun either way. I'm going to try to follow these as hard as I can because this is when, like, obviously, like, you have the Sweet 16, you have the Elite 8. Those are when the games mean more.
Yeah.
And now we have the Final Four. That means even more. So, like, it's always nice to see these games with the stakes raised up a notch or two. So let's switch gears onto some NFL news. Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. It seems like everything we mentioned, like, it's ancient history now.
Yeah.
We talked about Devontae going to Vegas, and did Tyreek get signed?
No, we were. It was still up in the air with. We were talking a lot about Baker, where Deshaun was going to end up, Jimmy G.
And I remember
Devontae can't not wanting to re-sign on the franchise tag, and all this stuff is history. It's old news,
it's super old news.
And now it's all lots of things have changed in the last couple of weeks.
I remember asking you, London, who's going to get picked up first between Deshaun and Jimmy G?
Yeah.
And they answered my question in like 2 days.
Yeah, I mean it's been a recurring theme the last couple of months with the Niners, just either not wanting to accept any sort of like low ball offers for Jimmy G, but it seems like they're trying to force him out. And I saw John Lynch said that they don't want to release him because he's too good of a player. So
he's too good of a player for the low. I was going to say something bad.
They don't want to cut him for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So they want to get something in return.
If they can't get something good from him, they might as well just keep him.
Then yeah, that's what you'd assume. But it's like, is it too late now after everything that's been going on?
And that's the thing. Like, yeah, Jimmy G he gave his farewell speech.
Yeah, and John Lynch was right there next to him saying, "Hey, thanks for everything."
Thanks for everything. Like, where do you go from there? Because at the the open QB market, got a little bit of breaking news within the last couple hours. Andy Dalton just signed 1-year deal to the New Orleans Saints.
Really?
He got a 6-year contract, $3 million guaranteed, and that kind of that closes the New Orleans quarterback
Yeah,
situation.
they also re-signed Jameis. And
They
I
did
think,
sign Jameis Winston again.
I think they just got Dalton for in case Jameis isn't ready for the beginning of the year. But I think he'll be the backup once Jameis is healthy. But
Yeah, for
like you
sure.
said, it does close another door on a team that was in search of a QB. So Jimmy G's options are
they're slimming down.
Yeah, they're slimming down every day.
Who's left? Indianapolis signed Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan did go to Indianapolis.
Let's see.
So then Atlanta, I guess, would be.
So yeah, Atlanta now needs a good they need a quarterback.
I feel like they're going to be losing lots of games, and at least for this next year, and I think that they're okay with that.
Well, Atlanta's hot garbage anyway.
Yeah.
They had one good year.
And
They couldn't even win the Super Bowl.
blow the lead.
23-8
And
third quarter.
they lose Calvin Ridley for the year
For the gambling.
for betting. So yeah,
At least a year. At
Yeah.
least it's up to Commissioner Roger Goodell on whether or not he stays at all.
yeah.
So we'll see about that. All right. So there's also Carolina. Carolina is in need of a quarterback.
Yeah.
They have a similar situation with Sam Darnold. They kind of, obviously they're not too high on Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Didn't play too well. But now they're kind of retracing their steps and I think we're gonna keep Sam Darnold. So I would hate to see a trade between San Francisco and Carolina. Sam Darnold on San Francisco would be gross.
Yeah, I think I actually did see some one of the media guys was talking about a potential trade for Darnold and Jimmy G and then some other assets from Carolina, and then Darnold coming in and basically playing a backup role for Trey Lance. Which, I mean, it would make sense if the Niners can get maybe a pick or two and obviously get rid of Jimmy G's contract if they were going to part ways with him. And Darnold would be a solid backup for Trey Lance, and he's got some experience now, and he can maybe help him out on that end as well.
So much like Atlanta, it sounds like San Francisco is going to be on a bit of a rebuild, to say the least.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's all going to depend on Trey Lance's ability, right?
Yeah, like it or not, the Niners is now Trey Lance's team. Like, he's the new quarterback, of course.
He's the guy. He is a guy now.
They haven't made too many acquisitions this offseason.
Yeah,
so.
unless Jimmy G doesn't, sign with – or unless Jimmy G resigns with the 49ers, then this isn't Trey Lance's team.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We will see. I mean, it's a sticky situation, and I think what messed everything up for Jimmy G is that he got shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And I think it was Indianapolis that was interested in Jimmy G.
Really?
Until he got shoulder surgery, and he should have waited. I don't know. What do I know? But if he was looking to really get out of San Francisco, keep that under wraps or maybe wait on the surgery.
Yeah,
it's too late now.
It makes you question, right? Like if he kind of did this as his own benefit in terms of knowing teams are going to be a little bit more questionable about him and his market value going down, maybe he did it to stay with the Niners.
Jeez. That's just a weird way to come back. It's like a nasty breakup.
Yeah.
Or just like a weird text breakup, and you're like, oh, well, I saw you in person again. Maybe we'll rekindle.
It seems like they're on good terms in terms of him and the organization. It just seems like he's a bit unwanted, and I feel like as a QB, you're not going to want to be somewhere you don't feel wanted. And now it just kind of seems like, well, we can't get anything for you, so we'll keep you.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on from that, so apparently NFL formed a committee to review the diversity when it comes to hiring. And so as of yesterday, I guess, let's see, the NFL is now requiring all 32 teams to hire a minority or a female coach, an offensive coach, mandating that the new assistant works closely with the team's current head coaches. The league announced the rule change on Monday, explaining it wants the new assistants of the offensive side of the ball because it believes owners and GMs have trended towards hiring head coaches that have offensive backgrounds as opposed to defensive ones. Usually, most minority coaches or that have positions are defensive coaches. What do you guys think about this? This is is this being forced? Is this like a forced upon thing, or is this like something that? What are you guys' takes on this?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely forced, obviously, right? If they're making it a rule. Obviously the NFL historically has had a rough history of, in terms of dealing with minority coaches, head coaches specifically, as we saw with Brian Flores and his lawsuit that he has against the NFL. And I think currently only one black head coach in the NFL with Mike Tomlin. So it's been an issue. They put in the Rooney Rule, which hasn't really came to fruition as well as they assumed.
Can you explain the Rooney Rule for people who do not know?
For the Rooney Rule, it was established in 2003, and it basically says that every team has to interview somebody of minority for head coaching and senior football operations. So if a team is out of a head coaching job and they've got 5 candidates that they're interviewing, at least one of them has to be a minority, which was part of Brian Flores' lawsuit when he was saying that when he was getting these interviews that the teams had basically already picked their coach, and that was part of what he was saying in his lawsuit. So again, it's been an issue in the NFL now, even after the Rooney Rule is established. But I think they're making the right strides forward, especially with this new rule of having minority or woman coaches on the offensive side. So
it's one of those things, and I was thinking about this when I saw this. Like, as long as the people that get hired are fit for the job, I'm not one for, pushing a certain narrative because it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to sports and anything, but like, you need to be good at your job. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to have a good grip on things. Because, other sports leagues have like way more minority coaches, a lot more female coordinators and such. That's been. I think the Giants have a defensive coordinator, or they have a coordinator in their league that is female. I think the 49ers have a defensive coordinator.
There's a couple different teams in the NFL that do now.
Yeah, and so like I said, as long as these people are good for the job, I don't think race, background, color, gender should be an issue. But right. I do understand where they're going with it. They kind of want to break the monotony of
kind of making it more normal.
Old whites
for at least for the time being, normalize it by having the rule, and then hopefully over time it'll just become
part of the norm.
Yeah, it'll be exactly.
So there's that. And also, there have been some rule changes that certain teams have been proposing. I believe, I don't remember the teams. I believe it was the Colts and the Eagles. I might be wrong. When it comes to overtime, how these teams believe that each team should get one possession in overtime to kind of make up for gives everybody a fighting chance. And as of today, that rule was official. Let's see. Playing rule proposal 1 was amended. Both teams are now guaranteed a possession in overtime. However, postseason only.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was approved.
Interesting.
Yes. So the Titans also they proposed a rule change to where, and I kind of like this, and this sounds, it's very definitive. Like, in overtime, that would be the case. Each team gets a possession unless the first team scores a touchdown and gets a 2-point conversion, which I thought was kind of a cool, it's a finality.
Yeah,
thing.
go for it.
Yeah, and like that also would make the overtime a little more exciting. I don't think that rule will. We'll see. I haven't heard anything about it, but that rule is probably still being looked at, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stems from the Bills Chiefs playoffs game this past year when they were basically going back and forth all game, and then Chiefs won the toss and go for the touchdown right away, and that game was probably one of the best games of the season.
Of the postseason.
Yeah, so the recency, I guess you can say recency bias of it, I think definitely stems from that game a lot. And I think it's cool that they're making it for the playoffs only, not stretching out NFL games, all regular season. So I don't mind the rule change, and I think it'll be good and like you said, make things a lot more interesting.
For sure, because there's not every game goes into overtime, but sometimes like there was a couple games that didn't. I mean, obviously they went overtime, but those were just not very fun games.
Yeah, I think that's what I say. I think it's a good thing for the playoffs, and I think that both teams should deserve a chance at having an offensive possession.
So this year, the team that will be on Hard Knocks is the Detroit Lions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna see some Jared Goff action. That'll be cool. What I liked about Hard Knocks last year is because usually Hard Knocks, they kind of go like everything up until the season starts. What they did last season was that they did everything in season.
Yeah.
They got
kept filming.
Yeah,
throughout.
you got a week by week of like how the team would react to losses or how they're preparing for a big game, which I thought was a nice take on it because all that preseason stuff, like it's cool and stuff, it just got a little old.
Yeah, it's a little bit more businessy.
Yeah, and so that brought a little fire out and made Hard Knocks a little more enjoyable. So I'm excited to see what the Detroit Lions bring to Hard Knocks this season.
And Dan Campbell is a big character, their head coach, so that I'm sure he'll make it interesting.
Oh, I'm sure he will. All right, so we're gonna shift gears once again and get into the something part of our Something Sporty news. So the main thing that I wanted to mention, because everybody's talking about it, is this whole Will Smith, Chris Rock, Oscars scenario. I'm sure you guys have seen it and have seen all the memes for it.
Yep.
The internet is ruthless. I was at work when this all happened, and I got some things like, oh, Chris Rock just got slapped by Will Smith. And when I saw it, it looked staged as hell.
Yeah.
It looked super phony. But I was like, okay, Oscars haven't been having the best ratings the last few years. They need something to kind of pep in their step. And then all this stuff came out.
Just to touch on, did you guys have any idea that the Oscars were even on before this happened?
So I had seen something the day before, like on a news ticker. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, the Oscars are tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the Oscars are tomorrow.
Yeah, I was on Twitter, and then all of a sudden I see videos of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and aside from my reaction to that, I was like, wait a second, the Oscars are on right now?
No, I like whoever was PR, whoever worked in PR for the Oscars should be fired because I didn't even know.
Yeah, there was no marketing. All right, so I guess this is a question that everybody's kind of trying to figure out. What do you guys think? Is it real or was it staged?
I think it's real. I think because it's funny. I think Jada got genuinely offended, but Will was enjoying it.
Yeah,
he
was
had so
up.
much fun. He was like, dude, that was really funny. And then you could see it on the camera. Jada's face goes,
yeah, she rolls her eyes and
probably gave Will the death stare, like, mother, you're not going to do anything about this?
Alternatively, there was probably that realization. It's like, oh, you're talking about my wife and her condition.
And then, then the slap happened, and Chris Rock, being a professional as he is, just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so hard to say because these guys are like obviously the best actors, some of the best actors in the world, right? So it's like, well, they made it seem so real, but then it's like, well, they're also, professional actors. So I've been very on the fence. I've been very 50-50 whether I think it's real or not, and I've watched the video probably about 50 times. And I don't know, I just feel like Chris Rock, the way he took the slap, it seems like I guess he seemed like he was ready for it.
He just ate it. Though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he didn't really have much of a reaction besides like, you know, the head swing. Like his lower body was kind of planted, and like I don't know. I feel like if I got slapped, especially like that unexpectedly, I feel like I would have had a little bit more of a reaction.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I think it was real was, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Will Smith, he played Muhammad Ali in a boxing movie, or in a movie.
Yeah.
And he trained a lot for that role. I didn't see the movie, but I assume like he acquired some boxing skills.
Yeah.
None of those skills came about when he threw that slap. Like stance-wise, he didn't have a great stance. Like I think one of his feet was kind of in the air when he threw the slap. The form wasn't the best, I think. So, I mean, and maybe it's like a reactionary thing or just kind of like a spontaneous on the moment thing. But I think, I don't know. That's just my take. I think if it was staged, Will probably would have noted or like made an effort to put some real force into it. I don't know. But
yeah, that's the other thing too. Go ahead, Eric.
I mean, it's basically real because Will Smith yesterday posted on his Instagram like a public apology towards Chris Rock and the Academy and like everyone else who was present at the incident, where he said, "Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There's no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I'm a work in progress. Sincerely, Will."
Yeah, so I was actually on the same page. I was fully this is fake, this is staged, until I saw the apology, and then there was some stuff that came out about like a couple of the celebrities at the Oscars kind of went up to Will Smith and were saying, you know, giving him like whatever advice or talking about whatever. Denzel Washington said something, and Will Smith talked about that in his acceptance speech. So there's definitely a lot of factors that are like, well, it could be real, but then it's like, I don't believe it. Like you mentioned, their ratings have just been going downhill for the last couple of years, and it could have just been something to get buzz, or I mean, who knows? I guess the thing is, a situation like this, it's like, how do you ever know, you know? And that's what I think creates the most buzz. Everybody's going to talk about, you know, their opinion, but I feel like the answer won't ever really come out. So.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And I only think Will made that apology. I mean, as a PR stunt, but it's because he's in danger of possibly losing his Oscar because he did win Best Actor for King Richard. And I did hear that the Academy organization people are looking about taking his Oscar away just for what had happened.
Oh wow!
Which I find, I don't know if that's true. Which I find very interesting because you know who else has a lot of Oscars? That Weinstein guy.
Oh
yeah. So like, hey, if you're gonna take Oscars from anybody, maybe take it from that guy first.
Yeah, that guy
set a precedent.
He's done far worse things compared to what Will Smith did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the people talking about, oh, Chris Rock should press charges. He should get the cops involved. He should go to jail. Like, you can't take those people serious. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and Chris Rock said that he's not going to file any police reports.
I would hope not.
I would hope not.
Probably because he's like, yeah, I kind of deserve that.
He's a comedian, and like I said, props to Chris Rock because out of all the issues going on with Will and Jada last year, couple years. It's very easy for Chris Rock to say something. That's what he said. Oh, all right.
Definitely could have gone a whole nother route. He was very professional about it.
Yeah,
hats off to him.
He could have verbally destroyed Will Smith just
Yeah.
on a couple
Yeah,
sentences.
I saw so much stuff on Twitter about like the whole entanglement and Jada doing this and all this stuff, and Will's only backing Jada up now because Jada's trying to tell him to be more like Tupac and shit.
I'm not
Wait,
impressed.
what?
Tupac would have shot his ass.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was Something Sporty. My name has always been, my name is Elijah. I was your host. We had Erik on the booth. Give it up for Erik. As well as London, also on the booth. Come back next week. What are we going to talk about next week, guys? Probably
Something
talk
sporty.
about we're going to something and something sporty. Probably talk about the aftermath of the Final Four. Hopefully there's some more good NFL news. Baseball's starting up.
Yeah.
That should be fun. Well, until then, kids, go read a book. Do something productive. All right.
All right.